Hi, I'm Daehwa Kim. Today, I would like to share my final project DotLiDAR, which is a high-fidelity, single-shot, multi-device tracking system using infrared LiDAR imaging sensing. Localizing coexisting users is the key feature for immersive experience in interactive AR/VR systems. However, today's system either requires scanning the entire shared environment to match the scene from each device, or large installation from the outside to look out all devices. A few inside-out tracking methods are often not precise enough and support only low-fidelity interactions. DotLiDAR addresses this problem with infrared camera and commercially available LiDAR on iPhone. These days, iPhone has a built-in LiDAR, and the LiDARs become more accessible to users. As we learned from the class with the topic of time-of-flight imaging, a LiDAR emits several nanometer wavelengths of the invisible light to measure the depth. This can be seen via an infrared camera, and interestingly, we can see unique structured light patterns. By using this structured light, we can estimate the position and orientation of the devices with a LiDAR such as commercial iPhones. When light sources such as LiDAR project the structured light to the planar surface, we can see different warping effect depending on its distance and orientation to the surface. When the camera sees this pattern in different orientation and positions, we can also see different shapes of patterns accordingly. One interesting point is when the camera is in the same position as a light source, then we can see no warping effect but the perfect squares in this case. This means we know how the patterns look like when the camera is in the LiDAR's position, which allow us to localize LiDAR's position as well as orientation. We have two versions of the hardwares. One is proof of concept device to verify the sensing principle and the custom algorithm with a visible light source for easier debugging. The other is a mock-up with a fisheye infrared camera to capture the actual LiDAR patterns. We provide guidelines to implement this infrared sensing hardware with optical filters. Let me explain the algorithm with visible light first. When the pattern is captured from the camera, that LiDAR finds corner of the patterns. Then, we can simulate what pattern look like from the projector's position using perspective transform matrix. This should be calibrated only one time by placing the camera in the projector position. With these pixel locations from the simulated camera in the LiDAR position, we can get the light source's extrinsic parameters of the rotation and translation using perspective and point with Lanjak. Note, we fixed projected surface location and the camera and calculated extrinsic parameters to get the depth information for easier proof of concept implementation. But it is straightforward to swap this system to the one with depth camera. Then, we can freely move both camera and LiDAR in the space to track their positions. To read the infrared light with a wider field of view, we use fisheye camera. First, ordinary camera have an optical filter to block the infrared light, so we open the camera and popped out the filter. Then, we added an optical filter to block the visible light, but pass the infrared light. As a fisheye camera has a different camera model from pinhole camera, we warp this image like a pinhole camera image using fisheye camera parameters. For the LiDAR pattern detection, we implemented custom function to detect edges. We proposed DotLiDAR, a precise, unobstructive, multi-device tracking system.